said it one time, but I can say it twice.
Say it again.
Yeet.
Yeet. No, you have to say it twice in a row.
Yeet.
Yeet. Yeet. Oh, that's so good. Yeet. Yeet. When did you start saying that?
Have I never said that to you before?
I think you've said yee or yeah. I've never heard yee.
I think it's my I do it on like voice chats with people. They'll be telling me something. I'll be like, "Yee."
I guess that's why I've never heard it, because I don't voice chat with you on video games.
That's true, and I still have Fortnite installed.
For what? Oh, sorry, Fortnite. What?
Because you said at some point that we should play it together, and then I installed it, and we never got the chance to.
Yeah, because you made me play Overwatch, and it broke my heart, and made me never want to play a video game as long as I live.
I'm sorry. The skill level.
You did this to me.
No.
My friends, my lovers, you've already been listening to us ramble on for almost a minute about video games, but now it's time for proper introductions. I am, of course, the Octodad who you never had, the Padawan who's on one, Noon Time with Harold, and with me, not as always, but sometimes, is...
It's the Harriet. That's just my title. That's my name.
The girl with a squirrel.
I do.
The cowboy that you will annoy. The letter Q looking really cute.
Yeah?
I don't know about that one.
It's a stretch of a rhyme.
You're a stretch of a rhyme.
Whoa.
Harriet is here with us today, and the first thing we're going to do today is catch up with the old Harriet. Because last time we talked to Harriet, she was becoming a world-famous actor at Studio South and letting us know that she would be too busy for our existence. And it turns out only one of those things is true. How has it gone becoming a world-famous actor?
Of course, I've already toured the world acting. It's been very good. I've gone to, gosh, what, 4 classes now? Something along those numbers. I've been working a lot on I mentioned the self-tape setup, which is for any non-actors out there, when you're sitting in any non-actors, just regular human beings. It's the setup.
Wait a minute. Do you think you're not a regular human being anymore because you've taken...
I'm a squirrel in a trench coat.
Oh, never mind. That explains it. I thought you really were being a little cocky and being like, I'm an actor.
I'm an actor, you regular human.
Well, in fairness, you are better than regular humans. I will say that about you. But I don't think
I don't know if that's true.
Well, it doesn't matter. I said so.
Okay.
I don't think it's because you are an actor. I think it's because you're just a better human for lots of reasons. I could list all the reasons, but I don't feel like we should do an hour-long podcast of me just praising you.
Oh. Well, it's sweet that you think that would last an hour.
Oh, well, there would be like 55 minutes of commercial breaks.
There we go. Yeah. That's more like the commercials just telling people how bad I am to balance it out.
Right, exactly. I already have those recorded. They're ready to go.
Oh, good. That'll play in the next ad break.
Now people are expecting that, and it's not going to happen.
I can do it. Can I do an ad break about myself being terrible?
No, I won't allow it. Although I don't decide the ads that Spreaker places in here. They just base it off of what my clientele... Well, no, not client. What's the word? My audience. There you go.
The audience.
They just base it on what my audience is like. So it's very possible Spreaker will make a commercial that is about you sucking. And that would be probably the funniest thing that's ever happened to me in my life.
I hope I get that ad when I listen to this. I hope it's an ad just goes like, do you know Harriet? She is terrible.
Harriet, more like terribly.
You proud of that one?
Nope. I haven't been proud of anything I've done for a long time.
Oh, no. Well, I'll be proud of it for you to balance out the non-proud.
Nah, just kidding. I've done some cool stuff lately.
Yeah, you have.
So you went to one class the last time we spoke. Now tell us what's been going on since then. Again, just as a reminder, this place is in Sharpsburg, and anyone can go, yes?
Oh, yeah. And there's a bunch of different classes to sign up for. I think they have one for like real little kids too, and just like music and like for the little like toddlers and youth. So if you want something for your kid to do, there's a bunch of cute classes and they got some great teachers over there.
Love it. Love it. Tell us about what's been going on.
So we've been doing a lot of like scene work and again working more on self tapes. We've been focusing a lot on like acting is reacting, which really means like when you're in a scene, you can be present and almost steal a scene just by how you're reacting to what you're being told. Because you can say your line with as much feeling and as much believability as you can, but if the second you're done, you just kind of zone out and you're not, of course, listening to your scene partner and the other person in your scene. That can completely throw off an entire scene.
Do you feel like you are good at reacting, or you are bad at reacting, or are you in the middle?
I guess in the middle. I'm good at reacting, but I'm still getting used to being on camera, which is very different, especially when you're doing a self tape, because you're not sitting there really looking at another person as usually unless you have a reader, but it's very different when you're just kind of staring to the side of a camera and having to pretend like, okay, there's somebody in front of me. How do I feel about this person? What am I believing about this person? What are they telling me and how would my character react to that?
So when you do this and you do your little camera recordings, you don't have somebody reading off other lines for you to react to. You're just imagining all of it.
Well, the only time I've done it so far with a reader and when I've been recording it, it's been the scene involved a phone call. So I actually got the reader to be in another room and be on the phone with me, which again, if I was
Ah.
and I wouldn't be looking at them, I'd be reacting to a phone call. So I had I put it on speaker so they can like the camera can hear them speaking, but it's like I'm still on the phone call with them. I'm not like holding it out. I'm driving a car also while I'm on the phone call. It's the 90s in this certain set scene, but for all them Georgia drivers out there, don't be on your phones.
Yeah, you guys, don't break the law just because Harriet does it.
Yeah, don't do your self tapes in the car when you're when you're driving. But yeah, it was very interesting. I don't feel as confident with that one self tape I did with that scene just because this past week, which is the time I've been doing it, I've been doing a lot of different things, so I haven't had much time to really um put what I wanted to into that. But I think I did a fairly decent job.
Do you remember the lines?
Yeah, my character says like in the scene says like three things, and then it's mostly listening to another person over the phone, which is what this whole scene was working on.
Are you allowed to do your lines right now?
Probably, it's not like I signed anything. It's like you can't say this. What scene this is? It's from I think a fairly famous movie, but
Do the
we're not.
lines, do the lines, and let me see if I can guess what movie.
Um, um, I'm about to drive off the road. I'm so tired. Keep me awake, will you? And then blah 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 blah, and I go, yeah. And then they're blah blah, and I go, Beth, my Beth, and then I listen for a long time. For anybody, if anyone knows what scene that is based off of that, then prompts
Yeah,
to
I
you.
have no idea. And also, that wasn't very good. You kind of sped through that. I feel like you need to work on
Didn't say that with much feeling, but yeah,
yeah, right? Damn. Boo.
to be fair, I wasn't in character. I was saying the line.
Yeah, that's true. You're not in a car right now. You got to get in a car to get into your method acting.
To be fair, my car in my self tape was me sitting on a piano bench so I could be level with the camera. And I had another chair in front of me that was my steering wheel that I put my hands on the back of the chair and I had to angle it towards the camera. That's another thing with self tapes is figuring out how you stage yourself is very interesting. Because again, I've been doing this for like 3 weeks, um, or 4 weeks. I don't know, something around that. But I've only done like three self tapes so far. We've been doing a lot of work in class too, which I like a little better because it gets you more in the feeling of like this is how it would be when you're actually with a scene partner getting filmed on set.
So, what is the coolest thing you've done so far at this place? Because again, we're giving free promotion here to a local business. So
Yep,
this
Studio South.
Studio South, we're not just talking nonsense for nonsense sake. What's the coolest thing you've done in your month time over there?
Ooh, I would say probably filming one of the scenes because we'll do it in class too, and our teacher will record it and then send it to us. But I got to do a scene that involved like, gosh, four other people, and we all like would pick a character and we worked on it that week, and then we came in and did it. but we were all just like sitting around the table, like playing a game while our characters were talking. And that's another thing that is more difficult than it seems. But if you're remembering lines, you can memorization is a big thing, but picture doing that while also having a camera at you, knowing you can't look at the camera, while also knowing that you have to be like playing a board game while you're doing that and focusing on that while also trying to connect with your scene partners. There's a lot of little things that combine into one just, 30-second scene.
Yeah. So now that you started doing it, is it harder or easier or the same as you expected?
I would say some aspects are harder and some aspects are a little easier than I thought.
Worst
Like
answer possible.
I'm about to dive
Nah, you
into
know
that.
what? Just forget it. Forget the whole
No.
podcast.
Nuh-uh.
Yee
I
yee.
would say I'd say one of the easier parts is just not looking at the camera. I thought that having something like right by you would be a bit harder. But I'd say one of the harder aspects is definitely balancing like whatever movement you have to be doing in the scene while also trying to look at your scene partner and also try not to blink too much in a certain scene. Um, there's a bunch of those little things that you have to be self-conscious about while you're acting, while also still trying to be a believable person and not, think about your every single movement. Because there's a lot of things like of course, more of a theater actor, and that's more of the experience I've had. Translating that into film is very different because you have to make more subtle choices.
Mm-hmm. I've
Theater,
always
if you
heard that. Yeah. It's about
yeah, I mean,
subtlety.
yes, very much so. A lot of film acting, I would say, is in the eyes as well, because I mean, one of the most powerful shots in film is just a close up of an actor reacting to something, just all in their facial expressions. You could have a big blockbuster action fight, but to me, some of the most powerful things I've watched that actually make me feel something are just watching a character react to something with one little close up.
That's why when I watch porn, all I do is I zoom in on just the faces and I just stare into the eyes, into the souls. I don't even see anything naked. It's just, well, except for them bearing their emotions through their eyes. That's the only naked I see.
That is a choice that you can make.
Now, see, in my last podcast episode, I talked about porn addiction and how unhealthy it was and how I kicked it. And now I am revealing that when I said I kicked it, what I actually meant is that I zoom in on the eyeballs and just stare right in them pupils. Pupils. And
Okay,
I'm
but when you
muted. I don't want to hear it either. I just want to see those eyes.
were when you're talking about it, did you do a close up at your eye?
When I was recording the podcast,
Yeah, did you do a close up of yourself?
yeah, but I only did it with the sound. So if you listen to that part, you're going to hear me blinking really loud.
Good. That's how all the pros do it.
And you have something else coming up soon. You have been rehearsing at Southern Arc Dance Studio, which is a local dance studio behind the Texas Roadhouse. You've got a murder mystery coming up. How's that going?
I did. It's been going well. We've had a couple of rehearsals so far. We've had to move around a couple just because everyone's conflicts, but we've got a solid team going. It's a very fun script. And I'm excited to dive into it more this week because we're going to get more into like blocking and teamwork and all that kind of stuff. But everyone should come and see it. It's going to be at Southern Arc Dance Center October 5th.
Dance Studio, right? Isn't it Dance Studio?
Yeah, Southern Arc, a dance studio. Yeah, I might be Dance Center. I might just be getting that wrong in my own brain.
Let me look.
We're full
Southern Arc
here.
Dance Center. Southern Arc Dance is what the website is, .org. Then it says Southern Arc Dance Center, Southern Arc Dance Center. What am I saying? Studio?
Yeah, I mean there could be maybe it's both.
I'm sure it's not both.
Maybe it's sometimes the studio center.
Yeah, really, it just says Southern Arc Dance, and then it says building a new generation of dance, now enrolling, southernarcdance.org. So it might be neither. We might both be wrong. The company is probably Southern Arc Dance, and the studio is probably called Center. I don't know. Also, that's okay. So you guys open in like 3 weeks, right?
Yeah. Oh, dang it, is that close? Huh?
Actually, you open in 2 weeks from Saturday.
We do indeed.
Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Excellent. That is also the day of my daughter's birthday party. So I don't even know if I'll make it. So if I can't make it, I guess I have to decide sooner because I have to buy tickets in advance, right? People have to buy tickets in advance.
I believe so. I'm not sure if I'd sell them at the door, but they should be. I'm sure they're already up online.
Yes, they
So
are.
people.
And what is the name of the show?
The name of the show is The Last Time at Band Camp. It's all about the a band camp, if you'll believe it. And I can't say much more than that.
Unfortunately, when you search it on Facebook, what comes up is the last time at Band Pamp. Yes, that is their event. The event name is the last time at Band Pamp. Says you're going. Says 20 people responded as going.
I'll get your tickets to band camp, people.
So I'm just saying, if you look it up because you are interested in going, it is $50 per person. It is October 5th at 7 o'clock. But if you look it up and you're like, I don't see the last time at band camp. Well, what you're looking for is the last time at Band Pamp. But still,
And
still something great. I love murder mysteries. I love
and
Southern Art Dance. There's a great people there.
and keep in mind too, for anybody who is their first time going to one of these, it's also a dinner improv murder mystery. So you that will be provided.
Yes, yes, yes. Good point. Because otherwise, that $50.
That could be a hefty price.
Man, they spelled participation wrong too. Oof.
You see, maybe
Interactive.
that's the marketing ploy. They misspell it, so people have to look at it and they're like, "Wait, this is."
I hope that's
Sorry,
not what they're doing.
interpret it.
But yes, $50 per person includes usually appetizers. I put together the first murder mystery they did at Southern Art Dance. I have not been involved in the last two, but we did appetizers, we did dinner, and we did dessert. Alcohol you had to pay extra for, but there was always some water and tea and stuff like that. So the last time at Band Pamp should include all that for $50, which is a high price tag, $50, but it's not worth it. Usually they're totally worth it.
And hey, I Harriet will be there.
Right, and Harriet will be there,
That
and
makes all of it worth it.
I'm hoping to be there. I really want to come.
I hope so too.
They're a lot of fun. But my daughter's
Just drag like
birthday, yeah,
just
starts.
drag the entire party over there. Just have
Not
it
gonna do
outside.
that. Not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. That would cost me like $800.
No, I'm not saying they all have to go. Just like have the party in the parking lot.
But then when I go inside, what happens to the party?
It's still going on. You're just taking like a momentary break to go watch Murder Mystery.
So I just hop in and I hop out. I got you. Bad idea. Don't like that idea.
Oh man.
So what's been going on with me lately, you asked?
Yeah, that's exactly what I just asked. You read my mind. It was in my mind and I was about to say it in words.
Well, I'm not paying for acting classes, unfortunately. I do have that on my within the next 5 year game plan because I break my life up into here's my year plan, here's my 3 year plan, here's my 5 year plan. And my 5 year plan, my daughter still won't be able to drive for the next 5 years. So my plan has to include having to be able to drive her places and stuff. But since the acting class is only 1 day a week, unless you become a world class movie superstar, I do have that as part of my plan to start doing. And I would like to do it with you. I think we'd have fun.
I think that'd be great.
Murder mysteries. My company actually does murder mysteries. So if you go to highspiritsentertainment.com, you can get some murder mysteries going on. It requires a good bit of leeway. Leeway? No, that's not what I would say. A good bit of lead time. A good bit of prep time. I guess prep time is what I'm trying to say. Prep time. So that means that if you want one, you got to let me know and you got to give me a couple months because they require a lot, as you know, Harriet.
Oh yes, but they are a certified Herald classic and well worth it, I would say.
Yeah, I'm the guy who got the murder mysteries popular around town, and now I see all these people do such a great job at it. Like I'm not the best at all, but I'm the guy who kind of got the formula that works to really start clicking. And now most, no, well, I won't say most, everyone that puts on murder mysteries did it with me first, and they worked under me first. So everyone that's putting on, not everyone. I saw that 13 Stories Haunted House is doing one. I don't know if it's them personally or they hired somebody, but almost everyone who's doing murder mysteries worked with me and took it or like, yo, bro, I'm going to take your ideas and do them better, which is what every director wants. Directors want their people to learn from them and then do it better. So I'm very happy about that. Like little Harriet here, I'm very happy at how good she's doing at teaching improv. She teaches improv with me every Sunday, which I can't promote because it doesn't take place in Coweta County. You have to go all the way to Fairburn, bitches.
Ooh,
Soda break. Here we go.
soda break.
Mm.
What was that noise?
Last week when I did my soda break, I spilled it all over myself. And I was recording without my shirt on. I was doing a shirtless recording. And I was just covered in soda for the whole rest of the recording. And it was terrible.
Did you not take a break to to like wipe off the soda?
Well, no, I was gonna do that, but like I was on a when I record by myself, I get in a groove. Like it's like singing and it's like dancing when I'm talking by myself. It's like I am talking and I'm also planning ahead of what I'm going to talk about as I'm talking. So if anything interrupts the flow of the dance that I'm having with myself, the the episode kind of messes up. So I have to keep the bump, the bump, the bump. And when there's soda that goes splish all over you, then it messes up and you're not having the bump anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's like the creative groove.
The creative groove.
The
So
creative.
I tried to keep going. I took a little bit of a break to clean it off. But over at the old Whimzical Cafe, I have become a bingo host. That means that I am paid very well. I love being paid money to host things. It's so great.
And you deserve it.
You know what? I would say that anyone who does a job deserves to be paid.
That's also true.
Yeah. I don't want to hear your sweatshop pro propaganda.
Hey, don't be sharing that.
Is that a sweatshop owner voice?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna
It's
make
just
them
me.
so sweaty.
It's just me, but I'm kind of whispering into the microphone.
We need to do another episode. We're starting to talk as if we're not recording a podcast right now. I apologize, listeners. If you
You're right.
don't if you don't care about Harriet, then you have hated this episode of the podcast thus far.
So that's everybody listening.
We're at 23 minutes now, and we've just kind of talked about how great thou art, and that's hilarious.
Now we gotta talk about how great thou art.
We'll talk a little bit. This is mainly going to be me saying, hey guys, if you have your Wednesdays free, Wednesday nights, the thing you need to do is come to Whimzical Cafe. And where is Whimzical Cafe? It is at 33 East Broad Street. I've got that memorized, which means that if I'm wrong about the address, whoops, it turns out I don't have it memorized. But I'm pretty sure it's 33 East Broad Street. And it's got a cute as hell little logo, and it's at a location that's not amongst all the other restaurants. It's kind of off closer to the train tracks, but lots of stuff's being built around it, so it soon will be popping, baby. But right now it is its own lonely little restaurant. So I think that's even better because it means it's highlighted. You don't have to like stand next to barbecue shitballs or whatever. That's rude. Actually, I haven't tried any of the barbecue places except Oink Joint, and Oink Joint was fine. So I shouldn't say that the barbecue places are barbecue shitballs. They're not. They're all perfectly fine.
That'll be the next ranking.
You had
The different
you had some barbecue, didn't you, when you came to Sam's birthday party?
I don't think I ever got around to that.
Oh yeah, at Sharpsburg Sam's birthday party about a month ago, we had Oink Joint barbecue, and I guess everybody ate it but you.
You know, I was outside. I There weren't any pigs running around, and that made me upset.
I don't know if you were. Never mind. That's a mean joke. I'm not going to say that. I had a joke, and it wasn't even a joke that is about you, but it just felt like it would be funny, and so I almost said it. But don't worry, I didn't say it. I'm just trying to find a secret way to say it. I'll save it for later.
You do that.
Not about you. I'm going to save it for someone else. Someone who deserves it.
I mean, your stand-up routine.
I do not have a stand up routine.
Then you better make one.
Last night, I have a stand up routine, but I don't think it would work for Coweta County. And I don't even know if it would work for Atlanta. Maybe. I don't. It's not clean. And it's unnecessarily not clean. So I just need to work on it being cleaner.
Interesting. Who would the who would
Interest, interesting.
interesting.
Take it to the sweatshop.
Oh man. Oh, who would the designated audience be right now then, do you think? If not for Kawita
I
or Ed.
specifically create all my stand-up routines for if I ever got on the show Kill Tony, which is a show where they bring up people and random people get 1 minute to do stand-up, and they're all experienced, world famous comedians. So you don't have to be inappropriate, but they pretty much only laugh at any of the inappropriate stuff. So I've been falsely conditioned to make sure if I ever do stand up, it's inappropriate. But I don't think doing stand up is my strength. I think doing funny hosting is my strength.
I would
There's
definitely say that,
yeah,
yeah.
there's a big difference. I'm very good at like I'm not there to just be funny. I'm there to get a point across and there to get a message across and there to keep things organized, but I'm also very funny as I do that. I think that that's what I need to stick to.
Yeah, and you mean you've got a very natural charisma at hosting. And like you say, I mean, you get the audience invested, you get all the information needed across, and you have fun while you're doing it.
And I do a very good job hosting bingo.
Oh,
What do you know about bingo, Harriet?
I know what the movies and TV shows have told me, and that is that you have a little board and there's like a free space in the middle, I think, and then there's a bunch of random numbers. I think everyone's got a different one, I would assume. I don't think it's just the fastest person that can yell bingo wins. But then you spin a little bird cage tilted to the side with a bunch of little
Very true, very true.
balls with numbers on them, and then one pops out, and then you say the number, and then everyone you just hear an echo of stamps
And
when people put the number.
yeah, yeah, no, I got you. I got you.
And then I'm pretty sure you have to get like the full board completely down. I don't know if you need to just get like five in a row, like diagonal or something. Don't you have to get a full board to get like a full bingo?
No, you just have to
Right.
get, but there are different ways to play. You can play where you do have to get the full board. You can play where you have to make a T. You can play where you have to make an X. You can play where you have to make a Z. You can play where you have to get two lines in a row, not just one. You can play where you have to get five in a row, but you can't use the free space. So there's lots of different ways to play I have learned. But the most common way, normal bingo, is just five in a row.
I like that. I like the. Do you do it different at Whimsical? Do you do it in the whimsical way?
At Whimsical, I did five in a row 3 times, and then we did make an X, which was took a lot longer because you really had to get five in a row twice. You had to get five in a row twice, but it had to specifically be making an X on the board. So that one took a while, and then we did one more regular bingo for the cash prize. And I will tell you, I don't think I've done something before where it seems so fun for the people who are playing. Like everyone there seemed to love doing the bingo. But for me, I got bored. I have to think of ways to make it more exciting for me because just reading out the numbers and the letters over and over and over and over and over. I don't know. I got to like do some singing or do some accents.
That's what I was
Or
thinking. You could do like a different like accent or like sing a number every time you do it. Like you have to change it every single number you say.
I did a lot of B9, B as in, and then I would say a word that starts with the letter B. And it sounds like it would be funny, but I don't know. I did get a lot of laughs. Like, oh, 12. Oh, as in, oh boy, I sure am sleepy. That's That's what it turned into.
I
Uh,
feel like at least if I was the one playing bingo, I feel like those would be funny jokes, but I'd be so focused on like, what's the next number? What's the next number? That'd be just like hovering over my bingo sheet with my little bingo stamp.
well, we didn't do stamps either. It was like a board with little pieces that you slide. So
Okay.
you just slide it over, and that would make your bingo space filled up. So if you do come and you're like, oh, I have to do the stamp, I hate doing the stamp. You do not have to do the stamp at Whimsical. You have a bingo board that automatically slides. Well, not automatically, you have to do it. It manually slides. It's just a little red tab, and you slide your red tab over, and that will mark your bingo space. What I had happened a lot though was someone would do their bingo board, they'd yell out bingo, and then they would come bring it up to me so I could check it, and they would accidentally shake it,
Oh no.
and it would mess it up. So then I would have to be like, oh, nope, now we got to recheck it. And so we'd have to go through and look for each ball and make sure it was all right. And it always was right. There was never someone who said bingo and was wrong. But there was a lot of times where people shook up their bingo board and it messed everything up.
Maybe you could do like a that could be one of your fun bits. Just like remember, don't shake those bingo boards because the earthquake makes you lose.
I
Bad
could do that.
example, but
No, but see, that's something else I can say. That's what I'm looking for. I'm brainstorming other things to say because again, this is a great job. Love Whimsical. Whimsical is my absolute favorite place in downtown Noonan. The food is delicious. The drinks are unbelievable. It is one of the cutest places. They have a little concert venue hall now that they're going to do the stand up that we're doing and stuff like that in. They're going to let me do improv there. They want to do a murder mystery. So they have all this cool stuff and they love me. They adore me. They talked about doing trivia, which I hope they will do because I want to do more trivia. Um, but it is this great little place. Besides the Alamo, it is the place in downtown Noonan to go for events. And like hell, man, we reviewed Whimsical a while back and we gave it an A plus. A
ooh,
plus. Big fat A plus. Let's see what we gave it. For the service, A plus. For the atmosphere, all right, that one got a B. That one got a B, which is still, respectable. It's just a kind of a hodgepodge of random stuff all thrown together. The food and the menu, we gave an A minus because it doesn't have a kids menu, or it didn't at the time. It's a little pricey. And that was the only negatives. The actual taste of everything is the most delicious of all the tastes I've ever had in my mouth.
that sounds like a very good review, and I think everyone should go to Whimsical, but especially on Wednesdays.
Especially, you're right, especially on Wednesdays,
Especially
because
on Wednesdays. Just go twice on Wednesdays.
two
Go 3 times.
times on Wednesday. I think they do a brunch. Sorry, now I'm just thinking about me going to Whimsical because I tell you what, my belly do be hungry.
Hey, there you go. And from what I've heard, the food sounds very good.
Yeah, I will not be eating there today, but I will be eating there Wednesday. Today is trivia at Wings and Things in Fayetteville. So if you like to go to trivia in Fayetteville, it is a very fun trivia game. It is one of my favorite trivia formats, and the fact that I get to host it is even better. And that'll be happening tonight at 6:30. I'm so happy about that. I get to bring my kid. My kid and I hang out in the booth. They bring us wings and things. I get to eat wings and things. It's a good time. Good time Tuesdays. Anyways, so the last thing we're going to do here is I have been working on ranking my favorite of things. I already did churches. That's how we finished up last time. And now I want to. How much time do we have on this podcast? We have 5 more minutes. Tell you what, we'll take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Woo!
Know what would go great right here? Your ad, your business, your services. Or maybe just your rant about how roundabouts are crop circles by redneck aliens. Whatever you need to say. We'll help you say it. Contact noonandtimewithharold@gmail.com for more information.
Up. Ooh, what a great ad read you just did, Abriel.
Was it about me being terrible?
No, it was about You know what'd go great here?
You know what go great right about here?
Your
Yeah.
ad. Your
Your business,
your
your services.
pulsating eyeballs.
Oh, that sounds terrifying.
What? That's all you've talked about this whole podcast is how cool it is staring into someone's eyes.
Not while they're like pulsating. Like, are they vibrating? Like,
Pulsating. It's like right after they drank a Monster Energy drink and did a roller coaster, and their eyes are just like, yeah, oh, I love it.
oh no.
Oh, pulsating eyeballs.
Oh God.
So here we go. I have ranked, and I'm not going to go through all of them. We're just going to get started. Your responsibility here is to ask me interesting questions about my jobs there. Can you handle that?
Yes.
All right. So coming in at dead last place, my least favorite job I've ever worked in Coweta County is Kroger Marketplace.
Ooh. I think my first question for you is was it the job itself or was it the customer base?
Was the job itself because there was not a customer base because I worked as an overnight stock person. So I didn't have to deal with customers. Even the other employees that were there, they were so sleepy all the time. So they didn't really do nothing. But it
Mm.
was overnight. So it was till like 6 a.m. and it ruined my sleep schedule and it ruined my social life. And it was just all around the worst thing that has ever happened to me in my life.
That sounds awful. Like night schedules seem so tiring. I have a friend who works nights now and she's trying to find a different job.
What's the latest you've ever had to work?
Uh honestly, probably no later than like 9 or 10.
You have lived a gifted life by the gods.
I did choose a classic 9 to 5 type thing, so that might help.
Very smart. No, yeah, you know what shifts I don't think I've ever worked is a 9 to 5. No, that's not true. I worked a 9 to 5, but not like a classic 9 to 5, like a rough draft 9 to 5.
Oh, it's not too bad. It's better than 6 a.m. at Kroger.
It was terrible. God, it was so bad. I hated it. All right, so that's number 12. Kroger, Thomas Crossroads, overnight shifts. It might not be the Thomas Crossroads. I'm pretty sure it was the Thomas Crossroads one. This was like very early on in my life. I only
Mm.
worked there for like 2 weeks, and then I went, you know what? Fuck this. I need to have social life, and I'm so glad I quit. Now, coming in at number 11 is Target.
Ooh. I'm asking the same question, but I'm asking a different one too. Was it the customers or was it the job? And then I'm going to elaborate on either one of those.
Can you guess what kind of overnight shift I worked?
No way.
This one was slightly different. This was a 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. shift.
Jeez.
So I had time to go to sleep for a little bit. So what I was doing was getting like 3 hours of sleep every night,
Oh my God.
sleeping
So you
on,
didn't sleep during the day.
huh?
So you didn't sleep during the day. You just worked 3 to 9 and then slept and went about like your normal day.
That is true. That
Oh
is
my
what I
God.
did, and it was really terrible. And I only did it for a couple weeks because it was so awful.
I mean, I think that's like very unhealthy. Yeah, I'm glad you stopped doing that.
And they gave me a weird job title. Like they had the stock clerks, the people who come in and they stock shelves. But then they had like the person who doesn't actually stock the shelves. My responsibility was to find stuff that we already have, nothing that came off the truck, but like back stock stuff, and put it
Okay.
on a little cart and then take it to the section that needed to be restocked and then leave it there. And all I would do is walk around in the back of um the back of the back back of the back. I don't know what you call it. I keep wanting to say backstage. What do you call the back of a grocery store?
I call it back squared.
Oh,
Back to the second power.
oh, that's really good. All right, nicely done.
Thank you. I'm proud of that one.
Yeah, back room, stock room, whatever you call it. Not backstage, but I call it
Yeah.
backstage.
Can you tell that he does some acting stuff, folks?
Right. So I would just have to walk around backstage and fill up the little carts and then give them to other people. And it was no fun for me whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, walking back and forth and just moving carts sounds like riveting work to me.
But I did have a walkie-talkie, and that was cool as hell.
Okay, walkie-talkies with work are fun. They give you a sense of like you're like I'm like you're like the kid in like the summer camp movies who's like communicating with their friend at the next door and you're like, we're gonna sneak out and ride our bikes.
Yeah.
That's my exact thought whenever I see walkie-talkie.
I kind of did that too because I didn't know anyone. I was just alone. So when I'd get on the walkie-talkie, I'd always be like, "Yeah, this is General Linton Lee's just reporting in. We've got ourselves some backroom stock ready to go on its way to the baby section. If you're in the baby section, beware because I'm coming at you." And no one would ever respond. No one would laugh. I'm not even sure if I was using the walkie-talkie right. Honestly, I may have just been failing to use it.
You're probably on like a different channel. So there's one of the kids who's in like the summer camp movie and they're just listening and they just hear, I'm going down to the baby aisle. This is General Harold.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant to say, General Harold.
Yeah. No, you were using an alibi 'cause it was your fake name for when you were stalking stuff.
My Christian name. What keeps beeping? Is that you?
Oh, was that me? I might have something open. I'm sorry about that.
It's fine. It's fine. Sorry for
That,
all the
that was,
listeners.
that was my walkie-talkie feedback.
Oh yeah, we walkie-talkie while we record because we are, I don't know, like 45 minutes apart, and it gives us a better way of speaking is to walkie-talkie.
Yep.
But it was a cool job because like I went in to just become a stock clerk, and during the interview process they're like, you know what, we think you would actually be better at this manager role because it was technically the manager of something. I can't remember exactly what they called me, but I got a pay upgrade by like $4, but I just could not do those hours. Those hours were so painful. So I called them up and I pretended like my grandmother died and I said that I had to I had to go there, but I'd let them know when I get back. And so I just missed a small shift and then I never let them know.
They're still waiting to this day.
I think they probably forgot that I exist. My boss was super pretty, very pretty lady. She was really nice to me.
Did she have a walkie-talkie?
Yeah, we all had walkie talks.
Yeah.
We were talking and walking, baby, talking and walking.
Walking and walking.
Now the only walkie talkieing I do is with my girlfriend in bed, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure what it is. I'm trying to like imagine. Nah, I'm kidding. We don't walkie talkie. I don't look at porn. The only eyes I stare into deeply are hers. And they pulsate.
No.
Yes. That might be my favorite word. Word of the day. Pulsate.
No, not the eyes.
And we're
What
going to
about
do an honorable mention because when I was creating my list of jobs, I totally forgot about one and it just occurred to me. It just crossed my mind that there's another job that I had that I forgot to list on here.
let's hear it.
It was TGIF. Thank God it's Friday.
What on earth is that?
You never heard of a TGIF?
I don't think I have.
It's like Red Lobster mixed with Applebee's. It's just a
Okay.
restaurant, and the name is terrible because it was open every day of the week, and its name is based around it being
Good.
Friday.
They're just really happy it's Friday on during the work schedule.
But if you go to Ashley Park and you see the Verizon store, there's a little Verizon store over there that used to be a TGIF.
Oh, okay. See, I don't think I've ever seen that around this area.
Yeah, let me look real quick and see if
Actually, I
TGIF
wonder
is
if
still around.
no,
TGIF
I'll think of a
near
good
me.
question while you're doing that.
TGI Fridays. There's one in Atlanta. There's one in Morrow. There's another one in Atlanta. So it's definitely still around. It just was. Oh, they changed the name. What did they change the name to?
Thank God it's all week.
Sounds like they changed the name to TGI Fridays rather than TGIF. So also that doesn't matter. But yeah, sorry. There's a lot of clicking going on my end today. I am in the freaking living room recording on my freaking laptop. So the podcast is still not going to sound as good as it will later. But right now we're in the dome of echo chamber.
The echo chamber. You're in a walkie-talkie right now.
Oh man, if I was in a walkie-talkie, I'd be busting. I'd be loving that walking and talking. I think this might end up being the most boring podcast we've ever put together. I
No, I think
apologize.
this is the most riveting. We're talking about overnight schedules at work and walkie-talkies.
It certainly can't be the worst. The worst one was when we pretended like we were another radio station and we just did improvised prank phone calls. That's got to be the worst episode ever of anything.
I don't know. I think we had some fun calls in there. I think it had its ups and downs. I look on the positive side.
Anyways, do you have any questions about that job?
I do. What did you do with that job? And
I
then
was a host. So when people came in, I brought them to tables and I helped clean up if there was a mess on other tables, and I would help get like your beginning drink orders and stuff. But mainly I just stood up front. Oh, big yawn, sleepy boy. Stood up front in the restaurant and was like, "Hey, welcome to TGIF. Where can I take you? How many are in your party? Oh, yeah, that many? All right, follow me and I'll get you seated." Oh, yeah.
I hope you said it exactly like that.
That was me. That's what I did. And I did that job for a week and a half.
Ooh, I do have a question too. So I have like whenever I'm working in when it comes to customer service, I have like a customer service voice, which is kind of like mine. But everyone has that higher pitch kind of customer service voice. What's yours?
Mine's the same as when I host trivia. It's just louder like this and a little bit smilier. It's if you smile and you talk. It's like, "Oh, welcome to bingo. Our first bingo ball is I-28." So it's just a smilier. I just lift my teeth up. And when I lift my teeth up, it makes me talk happier.
You sound a little more southern too.
Yeah, I'm just doing that for fun. I'm just trying to make this podcast interesting. And if I can be southern, then I'll be southern.
Start talking in southern accents for the rest of it. I can do a dumb proper English lady if you
No
know
one asked you to do anything.
that. I'm still going. You can't.
But I quit that job because I hated my boss. My boss was a jerk. He was a certified jerk boy. He was mean.
What do you do?
He just, like, when I applied for the job, I said, "Oh, I can't work Fridays and Saturdays." And he was so mad at me for saying that before I even got the job. Just when I was applying for it during the interview portion, I was like, "I can't work Fridays and Saturdays." He goes, "Well, never mind. Why are you wasting my time?" And then he called me up. He was like, "All right, we'll still work with you if you can only work during the week. So you can come back in." And so I came back in and I was ready. And then he just held that against me. He was mad at me forever for the whole time that I can't work Fridays and Saturdays, even though that was always the deal because I had theaters on Fridays and Saturdays. So that's why he didn't like me. So he was mean to me. And then one day, way later, I played aces and eights poker and I played against him and he beat me and he laughed in my face as I left. And it was one of the most embarrassing moments ever because he was so happy to beat me.
Oh, do you lie awake at night just thinking about that one game?
I think about him way too often. I can picture him in my head and it makes me sad.
Oh,
I'm a little
just
bitch though.
picture him with a mustache.
You know what I'm going to picture? I'm going to picture me with several mustaches. Multiple mustaches. One on under my nose, and then a second under my nose, and then a third under my nose. There's going to be so many mustaches under my nose, you're not even going to be able to tell. It's just going to look like one. But guess what? They are there. Harriet, do you have any closing words for us?
I just want to say that to everybody out there, go get some walkie-talkies. Go talk to your friends on some walkie-talkies. Phones, overrated. Don't work overnight shifts. And if you do, get a walkie-talkie.